They're coming out with HDS, which stands for High Definition System. It's a whole system, and it's a whole, and I have only touched one for about 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I was getting in the menus, and they're pretty intuitive. I think it's what I got out of it is that it was easier to learn than the previous models. A lot of the things are the same, so I have the previous experience. I know what, the names they use for different things, but it seems to be more intuitive. But you still, for me, I'm going to have to learn it. The reason you don't buy color is because of price. We're trying, when we furnish our boat, we have so many dollars. Okay, so we're thinking, well, if it's almost as good as color, and I can save $200, then I can buy, some more rods and reels. So it's really always a toss-up. But here's the thing: is the color is much easier to see. Color is able to interpret your sonar better, and you do not have a black and white TV at home, and you do not have a black and white computer at home.
Right.
And the reason is price. The price has got so close that nobody will buy those anymore. And someday, whenever that is, there will not be any black and white sonar, unless maybe it's a $50 one that somebody just wants to see that is 8 feet deep. Well, everybody wants to get the best map, and people are getting really educated. After they buy a few map cards, they start noticing that there's difference. They notice that there's different quality of the contours for the lakes, and it all depends on whether Lake Master and Avionics went out there and surveyed it. And once somebody fishes with one of those maps from one of those companies and sees the high definition map, they don't ever want to fish that lake again without that map. And because what it does is that, it's like having a great paper map, and you get to see your boat on all that structure. You take that away or give you an inaccurate map, it's much harder. It really makes the average fisherman into a pro very quickly. It really is. You can look at it when you see a new high definition map, all of a sudden you see boats on all the hidden spots. They can now find all those spots because they're right there on the map. Before, they have to go out and find it, make a waypoint on it.
Okay.
Or somebody tell them. Now they just drive right to it. It's written there right on the map. So it's just everybody wants that. It's just and once you have it, you'll never fish without it. You start collecting, okay?
Okay.
You collect everything you can, because it's really a fish catching skill. Log charts, but there's a feature in there, and everybody knows where it is that has the lowrats. It's in the menu, and it says log chart data. And what it is that it's like making a movie of your day. It collects all the data of everything that you are seeing on your sonar. And it's GPS correct also. So if you play it back at home, it'll show you on the lake, on the map. And it's nobody does it because they can't see the value of it. The value of it is that you can take it home, and you can then replay it, and you can review it. And you'll see all the things that you didn't, when the screen is going across, you don't have time to evaluate it.
Right.
You see something down there, you go, I wonder what that is. And do you have time to change the sensitivity? Do you have time to change any of the settings? No. By the time you get to it, it's gone. Now, some people have learned that Lowrance has a stop chart feature. Well, you can stop the chart, and you can monkey with it. But what happens then? Then you're not seeing anything that's under the boat again, and we want to see what's under the boat all day, because, you could get the clue 5 seconds out of the whole day where the fish are. And if you miss those fish, you'd miss the clue.
Wow.
You may be eating your sandwich, and you drifted over the spot where there's 3 fish, and those are the only 3 fish that you really saw all day. And so it could be the clue. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen.
Right.
And I know you miss fish, because I glue my eyes to the sonar all day. And I've logged charts in the past. I don't log them as much now. I log them for my classes so I can do for teaching. And I've gone back and I go, well, I never saw those fish. And where did they come from? Because you can't watch the sonar all day, can you? Now we have memory, but it still goes across. And so anyway, the log chart does is that you can take it home, and you can replay it on your own computer with 2 programs. They're both free from Lowrance. One's called a simulator, and one's called a sonar viewer. And you can play it back, stop it, and adjust the color line, the sensitivity, the noise rejection, the surface clutter, all the settings that you wondered if they, I wonder what they do. Now you can do it. You can change the colors of the background. You know, you can have white background, blue background. And what it does is that when you do that, you get better at understanding your sonar.
Okay.
Much better than if you just go out and try to look and try to figure it out.
On the water, you're trying to fish too, so it's like, you know.
Nobody wants to try to understand it when they're on the water, because the number one goal when you're on the water is to go fishing. Okay, so it's just like if you get in there and you start struggling finding where the sensitivity is, or find where this is, or find where that log chart is, it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to fish today. And so you give up right away.
Okay.
Now, if you're at home doing this here, you don't have to give up. And what are you going to miss? If you miss 3 TV shows and spend 3 hours doing it, you will be much better.